my people. Love my people.
Yo, it's the future back at you again. And we living in these days here. It's a beautiful day. You know, we're waking it up. And I want to define a few terms and terminologies to this. Some people don't understand what reparations really mean. Reparations is when a nation wrongs another nation and they pay for it, basically, in that simple talk. Reparation for us is vital. We have been here, as we all know, slaves in the Western Hemisphere, throughout the diasporas, from here to Brazil. We've been wounded, we've been harmed, we've been robbed. I was reading something the other day. A white guy went to a young brother's car and asked him to turn down the radio. The white guy said that he seen a gun. He fired 8 shots and killed the young brother, 17 years old. Trayvon Martin, walking down the street, was murdered. Wouldn't you want to see justice being done to our youth, to our people? Wouldn't you want to believe that sky's the limit, and sky's really the limit? Wouldn't you have a nation that defines you, yours, that protects you and yours, and not be subjected just because you're black, just because you're Latino, just because you're Indian? People come here from all around the world not knowing the horrible truths and the horrible things that go on in this country towards us. So, brothers and sisters, I'm asking for us to all fall in. Many questions asked, how do we receive reparations? We receive reparations through unity. We're at the United Nations, we have a label, we have an identity as Afro descents. We need to fall under that banner. We have a headsman, his name being the Honorable Salas Muhammad. He's there fighting for our reparations, fighting for our wrong that has been done to us, fighting for us to come out of the yoke, come back into to ourself. Brothers, it's time for us to stop being lazy. It's time for us to take responsibility in our own way, and in our own future. I am the future, and you are too. I asked this question to my brother. He explained further about the different countries that has received reparations. The Koreans received reparations from America. The Japanese received reparations from America. The Native Americans received reparations from America. The Jews received reparations from Germany. Again, 4,000 years ago, Brother Rashid, don't you think they received reparations right here?
And they just got reparation again in the 19th century also. So anyway, I'm still trying to figure out, this government that gave them reparation 4,000 years ago. What's the name of that government? I'm not sure. They say that also that that government was destroyed. Then I want to know what nation they established 4,000 years ago. And if you had the backing of God, shouldn't that nation be divine? Where is that nation today?
Yeah.
Okay. I know we that's a history, of course, that you guys, the Jews, went into Palestine with the backing of the United States and Great Britain, with this endorsement of the League of Nations in 1947, and you guys, correction, let me, excuse me.
Oh yeah, all right, try it again.
Where did we left off? Okay, let
Just search for
me go
someone.
back and say.
Want me to go back again?
No,
No.
we don't need
Okay,
to.
no.
We
Let me
have
go
it.
back. I know one. Okay, I'm gonna go back and say this. You know, with the support of Great Britain and the United States of America and the endorsement of the League of Nations, we know, historically speaking, that the Jewish nation went into Palestine and they began to occupy territories in Palestine, and ultimately, you know, as they did to the Native Indian, they made treaties with the Palestinian people, and they began to break those treaties, and their expansion grew. And now they have a nation called Israel, which was really Palestine.
Right.
And this is why the people in Palestine are disappointed with them, because they know truthfully that these people came in there and lied to them
Right.
about wanting to set up a community for their people. And today, you know, as we know it, it's a nation now.
Right.
So this is the same thing that they did to the Native Indian. They came here and they wanted to establish a community, and they made treaties with the Native Indian, and eventually they just broke off these treaties, and they, you know, began to say, hey, you know, we're going to take over.
Right.
And a takeover, you know, was in effect, took place. And today, you know, don't get me wrong, it's a great nation. You know, ultimately that became of it. But it doesn't make it right.
Right about that.
Now, with that being said, we as a nation of people, you know, we can look at our history, like unto the Japanese who received reparation, the Korean people, a few Korean people received reparation from the United States. Also, the Jewish people, they got their reparation from the United States and Great Britain, the Rothschild, with the endorsement of the League of Nations, and Germany paid them reparations, and you know, in the process. Looking at all of these nations that received reparation combined cannot outdo what we went through as a nation of people here under this ruthless government of the United States of America. So with that being said, it's no question about it that we are due reparation. You know, the damage that we went through goes back 300 years. The slave makers were in effect 300 years in the making of a slave to be subservient to their master. They went through this process for 300 years. And the damaging effect of that shows today. So it is now time for us to break this cycle of the slave mentality and to rise up again as a nation of people, to be respected amongst the other nations that exist in this world, amongst the other human race that exist in this world. Reparation is due without question. It is due. And the time is now. Now.
The time is now. The question is this: shouldn't we have reparations? Do we need reparations? All you have to do is look around. Look at the black neighborhoods. Look at your children. They're so confused. Why? We control nothing. Just because we're doing entertainment, just because you see us on TV, as a whole, we're struggling. Oprah is doing nothing for us. Jay-Z is doing nothing for us. All of these people are puppets using us. It's hard to tell these days with the youth, who's a man or a woman. It's hard to know if your kid gonna come back safe from just going to school, just because of the color of the skin. You know, it must stop, and it must stop now. This is the day. That's why we are here. So, and it's time for us to take responsibility and stop waiting for someone to do something for you. Stop being the fool. Stop falling into the trap. You know, we got a thing where we like to rap about the trap. A trap is a trap. So it's time for us to stop falling for the drug trap. They bring the drugs in. They give the drugs to the neighborhood. Then you go to jail. They give you a felony. You can't live a life like you want after that. You can't get a job, nothing. So look, this is the time. This is the day. And it starts with you. You are the future as well as I am.